Hello and welcome to patch update number 5. This occurred on Tuesday, December 4th, 2012. The game playing in the background is me playing my Cataphract X1. With Christmas coming up, the devs have released a number of cockpit items that you can buy for real money. Some of them are really neat, but I personally think that they are overpriced. I am much more willing to spend real money on a custom paint job for my mech than to buy a trinket that sits in the cockpit. But these items are only available during the Christmas season, so if you want them, you better get them now. The next item to discuss is the introduction of the ECM module. The devs have said that this module is a game changer, and that is a correct statement in a good way and in a bad way. The ECM module has two modes. Disrupt is a offensive mode and Counter is the defensive mode. In Disrupt mode, the ECM module will cloak friendly targets within 180 meters of the mech that actually has the ECM module equipped. Any mech within the cloak will have a reduced detection distance to 25% of normal range. It will also disrupt the enemy's targeting systems as well as disrupt the communication, which means that sharing information with other mechs in their team will not be allowed. Both Narc and Tag will not be effective when you are inside the cloak. However, I believe one of the devs says that they will be making some tweaks to the tag system. Other benefits are slow down weapon lock by 25%, slow down target gathering by 25%, and active probes do not gain any benefits against ECM equipped enemies. As you can see, this ends up being a real pain for LRM boats and street cats. LRMs are still viable, but they're certainly going to have to work a lot harder for their kills now. If you switch the ECM to counter mode, you will be able to neutralize one enemy's ECM. Logically, this makes a lot of sense. Both sides are using the same ECM module, so it's a one-for-one counter. The problem arises is that in some organized groups, literally the entire team is running ECM variant mechs. Currently, you can only install the ECM module on 4 mech variants. 3 of the variants are light mechs, and the last one is for the Atlas Assault mech. With so few mechs that can actually install the ECM module, it makes those particular mechs very popular. Players have brought up the fact that this is kind of forcing them to play specific variants rather than having them play variants that they want to play. With all the discussion happening on the forums on whether or not the ECM is overpowered, you can bet that there's going to be at least some tweaks coming. The last thing to talk about for the new ECM module is that there is going to be some HUD improvements. Most of these are self-explanatory, and you get used to them pretty quick once you play it in-game. Moving on to the next subject, there is a new hero mech that you can buy with real money. The Cataphract Ilya Miriomets. Hopefully I didn't butcher the name too much. It's actually a mech that I think is worth buying. With 3 ballistic hardpoints and 3 energy hardpoints, this makes the mech incredibly versatile, but it's rather expensive. It will cost you around $23. My personal favorite build for this is to have 3 Ultra AC5s and then 3 medium lasers. It allows you to output a lot of damage very quickly. With this build, a little luck is involved when you're actually playing the mech, since the Ultra AC5s can easily jam if you overuse them too much. The reason I bought this mech is because of the 30% C-Bill bonus. With the bonus and my current itemization, it's almost nearly impossible for me to lose C-Bills from a match. The next topic to discuss is that you can now create 8-player groups. 8-player groups can only play against other 8-player groups. This rule has of course created some issues. There has been some forum posts saying that there are large dead periods in which 8-player groups cannot find matches. There has also been complaints that with the player skill levels equal, the side that brings heavier mechs generally win the battle because they have more firepower. Some organized players want a tonnage system to be put in place so that the matches aren't unbalanced. This would make the matchmaking system even more complicated. There's also speculation that many of the 8-player groups have decided to go back to 4-player groups because it's just much easier to win a match. Here are the general gameplay patch notes. Damage resistance system upgrade, only for weapon doors for now, are more precise. I really don't know what they're talking about here. They could add a little bit more information to the patch notes about this. Autocannon projectile impact has been reduced, with the only exception being the AC-20. This is a welcome change for a lot of people. but the popularity of AC2 probably has gone down because of it. Set the health of the Gauss Rifle to 3 points. Set the chance that the destruction of the Gauss Rifle will cause an explosion to 90%. Now you would figure these changes would make the Gauss Rifle less desirable, but I really haven't seen much of a difference when it comes to people using the Gauss Rifle. The only change that I've seen is that some assault mech players have gone back to using the autocannon. Lastly, the number of jump jet effects is proportional to the number of jump jet modules you have equipped, and they have also removed the engine noise from the front end to prepare for a new system. I'm not sure what they mean by that. The last part of the patch notes are for minor bug fixes and also known issues.
Target acquired.